Hey y'all, it's Casey here from Boots and Bounty Homestead, and I've got to go out to the garden today to go pick or harvest. Sorry, I don't harvest, I pick it. Anyways, we've got to go out here and get a special vegetable. This vegetable this is the first time I've grown it. I grew it from seed. I never physically saw one. Sorry, let me get over here because that sun is kind of bright. So I never physically saw one until I grew it, and I've never eaten one, and I've had to do a lot of research to see how to cook it. So we're going to go to the garden. It's in the big garden, and we're going to go ahead and pick one tonight, and I'm going to show you a recipe. So let's run over here and I'll show you what I'm talking about, and I'll show you what it looks like, and then we're going to go inside and we're going to cook it for supper. Alright guys and gals, we are out here in the big garden, and the vegetable I'm talking about is kohlrabi. I know a lot of people have grown it for the first time this year, and I am one of those people. So, you can see this is what kohlrabi looks like. It is kind of a cross between a cabbage and a turnip, and they say to let it get to be 2 to 3 inches round. I've got one down here that's about 6 inches round, so I believe it's time to harvest it. So I'm going to take you down here. Let's take a look at it, and then I'm going to pull it up and we're going to take it inside and cook her up, okay? Alright, so right in there is the kohlrabi that is going to be on our supper table tonight. And I've got several other ones down here. There's a couple more. Let's see if I can shade it. There's a couple more there, and they're starting to get little spots on them. So I say it is time to go ahead and get these babies out of here. There's one. There's one. So let's check them out. All right, there's our first one. Go ahead and get this one right here. It has a long taproot on it, and on this one I just broke it off. But it's starting to split and starting to show some signs of damage. Let me show you real quick. Right here. It's showing some signs of damage and cracking right here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this in. I'll break this root off and leave it out here. We're going to go see what to do with these things. So as with any green leafy vegetable, such as the kohlrabi, I like to keep the leaves. And as I'm doing like a big massive green leafy harvest, I can can those up. And go check out my video for my canning greens video that I did last year. It has been a super hit. Super hit. Everyone is loving them. And not a whole lot of people know that you can do it. So in the sink here, I've got my kohlrabi, and we're going to go ahead, take these leaves off. I'm not going to keep these just because they have a lot of slugs on them. I'm going to go ahead and let the chickens have fun finding these boogers. And we're going to get these cleaned up and see what kind of recipe we're going to cook up tonight. So in my sink here, I have a basket that I'm going to put the leaves in. And I went ahead and got my clippers to cut them off. And as you see here, the leaves, they grow outward. Instead of like a cabbage wrapping around, they come out and just grow. And we have light. So we're going to cut these leaves right here off. And these will go to feed the chickens. Put these in the basket, and I'll take them out there after a while. Well, pretty soon, because they got slugs all over them. Let me know in the comments below what kind of recipes you guys make with these. I've just been Googling some stuff. Like I said, before I grew them, I've never even laid my eyes on one of these bad boys because it's not something that's in the grocery stores around here. Alright, there's all of our leaves. Those will go out to the chickens. And then we've got our root on the end here. I'll cut that off and leave that in there for them too. Whew. That root's tough. Alright. See. It smells like a cabbagey radish. Okay, let's get these washed off. You know, a lot of old timers will tell you to put your vegetables in a sink of cold water because it needs to soak the heat out of the vegetable. And I do that for some things, but I thought about that because I can feel the heat coming out of this kohlrabi. It's just warm where it's been out in the sun. So we're going to take this over to the stove and go ahead and see what kind of recipe we can find so we can get her chopped up. So since these taste like radishes to me, I'm going to start off simple. And I'm going to do exactly what I did with the radishes last year. We grew radishes just as an experiment because we never ate raw radishes because we didn't like them. They were just too spicy raw. And so I wanted to grow something different that I could provide you guys and also to expand our taste buds as well. So with this smelling like radishes, I'm wondering if I could cook it in butter like I do radishes. So we're going to try that first. Just simple butter with salt and pepper, maybe some herbs or something. But I want to see what this actually tastes like to be able to know how to further cook with it and involve it in our meal planning. So let's go ahead and chop this up real quick. What I'm going to do, I'm going to keep it kind of thin so that way it doesn't take long to cook in the butter and my butter won't turn brown and all that because that's not what I'm trying to do. So let's chop this up and get it in a skillet with some butter. Let's see what this bad boy looks like inside. Pretty tough. Let me see if it make it easier to cut this bottom part off. Because again, this may be too old. My gracious. Let's see. I want you guys to see firsthand. I hear it cracking like a watermelon. Ugh. That root down there is what's getting me. That stem right there. No more. Okay, so this is what it looks like on the inside. Go over here so I can zoom in. There we go. It's not layery. You know, it doesn't have all the layers of leaves and stuff like a cabbage does. It smells like a radish. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut on either side of this root. So I'm going to cut it into thirds. And then I'm going to go across here and cut this off. Alright. And this may be, it's feeling like it's a little too old. And I know that. I just hadn't been able to get out there and get it. Okay, so I've got these cut up in like 1-inch little squares. I'm going to slice them about a 1/4 inch. So that way we can just cook them in the butter and just try them. Because the middle core section here is pretty tough. The further I get away from where that root was, the softer it's getting. So I'm betting these right here that see that right there? I'm betting those are going to be hard as a rock. But that's what we're doing this for. I want to see if I leave it in there too long, what's going to happen. Yeah, I can't really even cut through that. I have to cut some of that off. Alright. I'm going to get my skillet of butter and we're going to get this in it. So I've got a non-stick, probably 9-inch little skillet here. And I'm going to put some butter in it. We're going to try maybe like 2 teaspoons. Because I want the kohlrabi to absorb the butter a little bit so it will soften it up a lot easier. So I'm going to let that heat up real quick. And then we're going to put the kohlrabi in there. Alright, let's put it in here. Okay, we've got it all in here. Let's coat it just a little bit in the butter. And let's see what happens. I'll go ahead and add a little salt and pepper because that'll help bring some of the moisture out. I don't want to I don't want to pepper it too heavily because if it's like cabbage, it will absorb the heat. Even being black pepper, it will make it really hot. Alright, I got my heat on medium high, so I'm going to leave it there and let these cook probably for about 5 minutes or so. So it's been a few minutes. It's starting to brown. I'm going to get a thin piece out. I'm going to lay it over here, let it cool for just a second. I'm going to turn it down to medium. Has a good flavor. It's a cross between a turnip and a radish. Still very hard. So I'm wondering if these were not old. Too old. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a tad bit of water in here and cover it and see if that'll help cook them. So basically what I'm going to do now is just pour a little bit of water in there and I'm going to cover it, and that's going to help steam the vegetable. We'll check back in a few minutes. It's been a few minutes, probably about 8 minutes or so. They look like apples, like baked apples. Alright, let's take one out and try it. I'm gonna try to find one from the bottom and one from the top. This one looks like it's a little closer to the top of the kohlrabi. Just because it doesn't have the little specks and stuff in it, the white specks. Yeah, that's softening up. Okay, and then here's the other one. See, it looks like it's a little veiny. This is, I'm expecting it to be tougher. And it's not. Okay. Now, I am noticing the skin may need to be peeled off if it's a little older one. Put a hair more water in that because it's starting to get a little dry. Alright, I'm going to let them steam for just a little bit more. It's been 3 or 4 more minutes. And I tell you guys, these are really good by themselves. It would be a really good potato substitute, just like radishes and turnips. And I think this is going to be good. They may not soften up much more. So I'm going to go ahead and take these off, let them cool off, and then we're going to come back and do a taste test, see what we think.
Oh, there you go.
I got the light on, but I don't know how good it's going to be. Very light, white and bright.
Wow.
Clean.
X-ray.
Okay. Okay, guys, we've got Stephen in here with me, and we are. Let me turn the fan on. The hum in the background. Okay.
Huh?
Alright, guys, this has cooled off just a little bit, and I've got Stephen in here that is going to taste test this for me. He's the picky one, besides Logan. Logan just won't eat it. So, Stephen is the next picky one. So, I'm going to get you a good one. Let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'll start out with... There's so many to choose from. Okay, let's do an inside one that doesn't have any skin on it, because the skin was a little tough. It cools off real fast. You don't trust me.
No, she done tricked me before. Try this. Not bad. Tastes like the radishes.
See, it smells like radishes.
It tastes like a radish.
Tastes like radish. I told you you'd like it. It's good.
It tastes like radish.
You don't like it?
I do.
Need some more spices?
This is something.
You heard it live. It needs some something. I like it. I think it'd be a good potato substitute.
Oh, yeah.
That looks like a good one. I think you need that one.
I think I need that one.
You need that one.
It don't have no something on it.
It does. Got some salt and pepper on it. Well, see, in the radishes, I usually put like oregano and thyme in it. This was cooked in butter. It was cooked in butter. Knucklehead. Got me sweaty. I'm sweaty. Too close to the stove.
Mm.
It's good.
Good.
Like it?
Yeah.
Can you eat it again?
Yeah.
Okay. I think next time we'll choose a little bit younger one to cook it in the skillet like this, if this was just going to be a side. Because I think this one's just a little too old. And you didn't have one with the skin on it. The skin kind of got stuck between my teeth a while ago. You know, like how you bite into something hard, and it, like an apple, and it just goes up between your teeth. That's the way it did mine a while ago. So either if you have an older one, go ahead and skin it, or it's just probably going to be tough. So now we know to keep them about 3 to 4 inches. Don't go any bigger than that.
No bowling ball size.
And no bowling ball size. They're not trying to grow big ones here. We're trying to get some that are edible. Because, I mean, the bottom of that thing was trying, like, I was trying to cut through a spaghetti squash. If any of you have ever tried to do that. I thought I was going to have to call Steven in here. But I finally got it and just yanked it apart here. But anyways, yes, this one is very good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I will try with some different spices and herbs and stuff. And this may be snuck into some of our breakfast menus because I do a lot of vegetables and eggs in the morning. And I've got another recipe coming up, so stick around for that, and we will see you guys later. Go out and try some kohlrabi. Bye.